So this is the story all about how my life almost got twisted upside down. No, but for real, y'all.
And girl, keep your head up. You gon' make it. You are. You know what I'm saying? This is just a part of the test of your faith. This is what you got to go through until you get to your, you know what I'm saying, to the greatness. But it's coming.
Hey babes, my name is Sinitra, but I also go by Pebbles Eskimo. For those of you that don't know, I am a licensed esthetician, but I specialize in lash artistry and the overall comfort and the vibes for the girls. So today I'm going to go ahead and share a little story time tea with you all. It's going to come from a reel that I posted on my Instagram. And on this reel, it stated that the state forest, they showed up to my suite unannounced. And then 6 months later, I had a court case, but I ended up winning because of God. So let's get into it. So a little over 6 months ago, I had a client come in, and this client was a foreign field client. So for those of you who are wondering exactly what does a foreign field mean, it simply means that a client initial full set of lashes were not applied by you. That's it. So this client came in from another artist. They received a hybrid or volume full set that I did not initially apply on their lashes. I've been lashing now for about 4 years, and initially I never had foreign field clients. I never wanted to take foreign field clients off the simple fact that field clients, you don't know what products were previously used, the chemicals that could be in the products, trying to match what they previously had, because at Lash Tech 9 times out of 10 use a different lash brand, different lash brands have different, their curl patterns are different. You gotta figure out the limbs. It's just a lot of work with foreign field clients. And then there's the liability of if a client went and received like a botched job from somebody else and something that they used products were wrong, but something happens with their eyes, but you were the last person to touch them. Like, I just didn't want no type of liability issues. However, what made me change that was this past year I ended up coming to a new city. Coming to this new city, there are so many lash tests. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and add on foreign fields to my booking site, because 9 times out of 10, so many people that are around here, they have a lash tech already. But if they like my work and they like my overall vibe and what I give, and they've been wanting to come to me, I'm closer to them now. They have access to me now. Let me go ahead and let them come in without having to worry about them having lashes from someone else. Boy, was that a mistake. So I only had 2 clients that had came in for a foreign fill. The first person that came in, I had to do a removal because the lashes looked a mess. The previous set that she went to, it looked a mess, and it was nothing I could do with it. I had to remove those lashes and apply new lashes. Now this second client that comes in, same thing, only there were so many red flags with this client. It's gonna be a little story. I said I was gonna give y'all story time, so I'm gonna give y'all a story time, okay? So this is what happens. She walks on in here. She looks around. She like, oh my goodness, it's so nice in here. I wish I would have brought enough money to tip you, but I only brought the $80. And you're lucky, because I typically only pay $70 for my lashes. Okay, so I'm thinking, I'm lucky. Like, I don't know her. I had never seen her before, didn't know anything about her. She found me on Google. She liked my work. She wanted to try me out. She decided to come to me. So for me to be lucky because you found me was like, okay, but whatever, whatever. So not only that, this is my thing. I let people know in the beauty industry that you need to make your prices to where you don't have to depend on tips. Of course, tips are great, but you should not have to like look at a client sideways if they don't tip you. Like, it's great to be tipped. Like, don't get me wrong, I love extra money. I love because tipping is showing appreciation. I love the extra appreciation. However, I create my prices to where if a client doesn't tip me, it does not hurt me. So she really had no reason to even bring that up. What I charge is not dependent upon your tip. She comes over and she sits in my chair, and I let her know this. Although she brought $80, is actually an additional $40 that she's going to have to pay me, because on top of the refill that she booked, it was going to cost an additional $40 because she's a foreign field client. So I let her know this, and she goes, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead and Zelle you. Okay, cool, perfect. So she goes ahead, she grabs her phone, and she Zelle pays me. So after that, I go ahead, I do a consultation. I look at her lashes, checking out her lashes, and her lashes, I needed to do removal. I'm going to insert a clip. This clip, you're going to notice that the lashes are sticking together. They're not isolated at all. The mobilization is terrible. The isolation was terrible. It's just not healthy for me to have been pulling on her lashes, try to remove them, because it could create a painful experience. And I did not want to do that at all.
That's yours. And there was your reviews. That's why I came over here. Your reviews were good, but it was just like, whoa, she seems like she's flawless. With good reviews.
I let her know that I would need to do removal and a full set on her. Now, this is where I messed up at, y'all. This is where being nice gets you nowhere. So because I had to do a removal on her as well as a new set, it was actually going to be an additional $40 that she would owe me to do the full set and the removal. But because there was already like a money issue when she came in, I decided I would go ahead and be nice, and I let her know I wasn't going to charge her the additional $40 because she came in thinking she was going to owe $80, when in reality she's really on having to pay $40 more on top of that. I didn't want her to come in thinking she was going to have to pay $80 on top of what she already thought she was going to be paying. So that was where I'm like, you know what, I'm not about to even argue about this. Whatever, it's cool. Let me just go ahead and just let her know it's cool. As I'm going ahead, I'm doing a removal, and as I'm letting it sit, I noticed I still did not receive that $40 Zelle payment from her that she had sent from earlier for the foreign field. So I let her know, like, hey, I didn't receive the payment from you. So once I get all the lashes off of her, do the rinse and everything, I tell her to go ahead and check her email, because, you know, sometimes Zelle wants you to do a confirmation. I know that they send me like a text message sometimes, or an email of like, it'd be like enter the 6 digits something. So I'm like, maybe that happened. Maybe she just needs to check out her email. So she checks the email. It's like a confirmation email or whatever. Okay, it says that's confirmed, sent to Pebbles Eskimo LLC. Boom. Cool. I'll go ahead and I continue on doing removal. And at this point, I don't have the money, but I'm like, I see this confirmation from her. I see that there's this confirmation of the money being sent. So I'm not about to waste time to try to wait on this money to come in, because like it has to come in within a few minutes, hopefully, because, you know, like, I see the confirmation. Like, there's the confirmation. Here's the confirmation. So I didn't want to waste time because I had a client after this client. And from me doing a field to now having to do a removal and a whole new set. So immediately I'm like, let me go ahead and just do this, get this removal done so I can get this full set complete before my next client arrives. So I'm halfway through the full set, and I'm noticing, like, damn, this money's still not in. The client, she's knocked out. Like, she's knocked out cold. So I don't want to bother her by this. When I finish her lashes, I let her know, like, hey, the money still hasn't come through. Can you check your email again? You know, check your account, see what's going on. So she checks her email, and the email basically says that it could take 3 to 5 business days for me to receive the money from her. Now, I found this so strange because I've been taking Zelle payments from not just clients, but from people in general. Like, if I'm out or something, like, I've always taken Zelle payments, and this has never ever happened. Like, I've never seen no email like this before. So I was so confused. Like, that had never happened. It would never happen. So I let her know, like, okay, well, you know, well, I did your service today. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a hard pull from my processor. I process through Square. Like, when a client goes online to book and they make their deposit, they have to make their deposit through my processor, which is Square. So I let her know I'm gonna just go ahead and do a hard pull on your account for the $40 that's due today. And if I receive your Zelle payment, I'll gladly send it back to you. So I go ahead, I pull from her account right then and there. So that was on Saturday when I had that client. Everything was cool. Her lashes came out fine. Everything was good. Hey you guys, so like I said, that was on a Saturday when I did her lashes. On a Monday night at 7:30 p.m., it was April 3rd, I received a message from her. Now, the message says, did you authorize $40 again today? She sends me screenshots of the $40, which was the pre-authorized debit, $40, and it says hold square, $40 under her pending transactions. She says, may you please send me back the $40 you authorized today? Thank you. Please give me a call once you can. I tried calling and it went straight to voicemail. I stopped the Zelle payment after I saw the pre-authorized debit this morning. Also, I was under the impression that you would withdraw on Wednesday. LOL. 3 business days was the agreement. He sends me another screenshot, which I'm gonna post that up as well. I wrote her back and I said, hey, the $40 that I notified you of me pulling the day of your appointment, Saturday, since the $40 Zelle payment was not received then at your appointment, must have just reflected on your account today, since it is now Monday. I still have not received the $40 Zelle payment from you. I also did let you know that if and when I receive the Zelle payment from you, I will gladly send the payment back to you as soon as I get it with no problem at all. Please feel free to call your bank to let them know that I did not receive a Zelle payment from you yet, and they should be able to also let you know that I do not yet have a Zelle payment from you at all. I'm currently in the car with my grandparents, and I could call you back in about 15 to 20 minutes should you have any other concerns. And I also sent her back her screenshots that she sent me circling, the pending, the past stop. I'm going to post it so you can see it. She says, do you see the pre-authorized debit under the hold? I said, yes, I do. That is the one pulled today. She says, the hold that you circled, that is my Zelle payment pending. Even though I stopped it this morning after seeing pre-authorized debit, it still seems to be holding. Yes, correct, that pull was from today, but I thought we agreed that you would pull it 3 business days if not received. This is still her, by the way. If not received, Wednesday. So looks like a Zelle payment was actually going through this morning before you pulled it. Okay, thank you. This is still her writing. Okay, thank you. Yes, you will be receiving it soon. That is the one you circled. It is on hold. I was certain that you would receive your funds, love, but it was just a weekend. I really wish you would have waited until Wednesday as we agreed. Thank you for your time. So I responded to her, please don't take this the wrong way, but I had never met you before your appointment. This is a business like any other business, and when you make a purchase any place after receiving a good or service from someplace, the balance you are to pay is owed then and there. In our situation, then it was technically a decline on my need, on my end because I didn't receive the funds right then and there. This is why I explained that I would pull from your account, and should I receive another payment from you, I would easily refund it right back to you. So this is the same $140 payment that I did not receive then, but was pulled as I let you know. So you were able to just cancel the Zelle payment to me now at this moment that was never received 2 days ago from you when you received a service from me. So since the Zelle payment has been stopped on your end, I shouldn't now receive it at all. However, if I do, I will 100,000% send it back to you. I will never keep money that's not mine at all. I promise you. So again, if it is received, I will definitely send it right back. I apologize for any confusion. I hope you have a great rest of your night. She replies, thank you. I understand. I always bring cash always. I was unaware that I was scheduled or needed a foreign refill, or that it would be $40 more than the field I had chose. Your site stated you accepted sale. That was all I could think of in that moment to satisfy something I wasn't aware of. I'm going to pause right here. I am a very thorough person. On my booking site, it clearly stated, and I'm sure I hope I have like a screenshot somewhere on my phone of what my booking site had previously looked like. I'm sure I do. I'll try to, if I do, I'm gonna pin it up here. But right there at the top, I know for a fact that it stated that foreign fills are an additional $40 upcharge. And also to book a refill, there is an add-on right there that's was in all caps that says foreign fill $40 fee. And you were to click on that, it was all made very clear on the site. So when I had time, okay, this is kind of like out of it, but when I had time to think about it, it was kind of like, man, was she in a way trying to scam me? Like, did she already have these Zelle emails set up in a way. She had already told me the amount that she had ready. And then when I had her laid down and I let her know of the foreign field charge that she claimed that she did not know about, she conveniently all of a sudden was able to Zelle pay me. Although she said she didn't have money to tip me, she was able to Zelle pay me $40. So anyways, back to the message. She says, I agree. I want to give you your entire payment at start of service, but I was unaware until arriving. I believe the thing here for me was our agreement for you to pull it in 3 business days, Wednesday, to prevent any confusion. I believe you pulled early thinking I wouldn't pay you. Please know that is not me. I hope that this instance is a confirmation of my character. Thanks so much for your time, love. Be safe and have an amazing week. I'll check back in because even though I canceled it, I believe I was too late. If my account shows a hole, that means they've already taken the money. I can't access that $40 that's holding. You should be receiving it soon. Okay, so after that, I didn't write back. Monday night at 7:30 is when it started. Then on Wednesday morning at 5:22 a.m., I received another message from her. In this message, it stated, Grand Rising, checking back in. It has been processed. I look forward to hearing from you. So I go immediately when I wake up. I look at my messages. I don't have like anything stating that like I received another Zelle payment. I go and check my account. Also, then I receive a $40 payment from this girl. So I write her back at 9:41 a.m. reasonable hours. And I said, please call your bank. I never received $40 from you from Zelle at all. She says to me, I will say, observe your recent transactions, ... And she also sends me screenshots of like something that's from Zelle. I square a payment, circled. After she said, I would say, observe your recent transactions, I simply said to her again, call your bank. I explained to her like the square processor of what everything is. I let her know that it was the one-time pull, that pre-authorized debit is likely the Zelle payment. You tried pre-authorized, that never went through. I do not know who you bank with, and I am not your bank's customer service rep to help you out with this. The only thing I can say to you is I received one $40 payment from you. One, that is all. Any other concerns, please take it up with your bank. So after I say that, I get like another screenshot from her again. And she says, sorry you received the pull payment yesterday, the 4th. It's okay, love. No need to respond. Have an amazing day. I will call my bank and report this as fraudulent behavior. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Hope life treats you well. That message in itself was totally confusing. Because why are you reporting this as fraudulent behavior? And then you're also apologizing for the misunderstanding. But if it's an understand, like what is there to misunderstand? Like it was just a lot that went on with that message. My messages was processing to send her a screenshot of that I had taken of my Zelle transactions. I sent it over to her so she could see like I hadn't received anything from her. And I sent her a screenshot of my Zelle transactions from my bank because who I bank with, you can't use the actual Zelle app. I have to use my banking app. So it was in a process of sending to her, but I guess I just didn't respond fast enough for her. And that's what she sent the whole message saying it's okay, no need to respond, blah, blah. Y'all, I promise you, in that message, not even 5 minutes had went by in between that. Like, not even 5 minutes. I told her, like, these are all my Zelle transactions. I have nothing from you. But once I seen that message come in, I also just wrote back, same to you. Because at this rate, something is wrong with you. And not only that, it was the audacity of her to keep thinking that I, for some reason, can have her hold off a payment an extra 5 days from her receiving service. It was just like the overall audacity for her to think that. So that had already been in the back of my head. That's why I was already a little irritated with her messaging me. And then the way that she was just coming off, it was just rude. Because I was never rude to her, but she was just very rude to me. She says, Zelle is attached to your bank account, love. Review your bank transactions, not the Zelle transactions. Again, you're locating your early pull from my account. We've confirmed the Zelle payment was received Monday by way of pre-authorized debt. We are trying to locate your manual pull, which was processed yesterday. I'm not even sure who she's talking about when she says we, but y'all, I wasn't even in a mood for it. I didn't care no more. At this rate, I don't care. So I responded to her. I said, I'm done with this. Report as you need to because this is insane. It's so much just wrong with your overall delivery. while you are wrong and I have been nothing but nice and patient with you. I have already said all I have to say. So just do what you need to do. Good day." She read the message and I never received another message from her again. So that was Wednesday when I had last received a message from her where I last sent a message to her and she did not send me anything back, which I was fine with. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe she's over it. Maybe she's actually going to talk to her bank. Fast forward of how exactly does the state board get to my suite? And how do I know that she was the one that called the inspectors? That was Wednesday when I seen her. I come into my suite again to work on Saturday. When I got here, I noticed that my esthetician license wasn't where it usually is. I had seen it placed on top of a shelf that I have in my room, but I didn't think of anything of it because I'm just like, okay, well, maybe I'll just moved it. It was kind of weird. I found it weird, but I'm just like, maybe I just moved it and I forgot. I don't know. I don't know. Because I also had been at my suite that Thursday. So, but I did not have to work on Friday. On Friday, I did not come in at all. My plan was to not put up my esthetician license on the wall until I had a specific frame that I really liked for it, because I'm just extra like that. So I really, really needed to have a perfect frame for my license, because that's a big achievement, okay? And for that piece of paper, it had cost me a good amount of money. So I needed it framed very nice. That happens on Saturday. At Monday come, I'm dropping my dogs off at the groomer and I noticed that I had a voicemail from Lansing. It was a Lansing area code. Lansing is our capital of Michigan. So I check it out. It's definitely the state board inspector. They left me a voicemail letting me know that they needed to speak with me to give them a call back as soon as possible. I go ahead and I called them back. They let me know that they had been to my room that previous Friday and they did a full inspection. And that was the reason that my license were out. They did not dock points for that because they had found it. But of course, you are supposed to have your license hanging up in your room on the wall. It just is what it is. But they didn't dock me for it, and that was the only thing that they found to give me points for. So the inspection had passed. Now they let me know that although I had passed my inspection, that there were allegations of me having an licensing establishment to license other estheticians to do lashes. So that's what brings me to having a court case. So after I had spoke with the inspector, I had let her know that that was definitely not true at all. The allegations, they seen my post of me having a certification class. You know how we all do. The beginners, beginner / course. I was going to be hosting a group class August of 2022. With that, you had to DM me to learn more information. Anyone that's ever inquired with training with me, you know that you receive a template from me with everything that's included with my lash course. Like, it tells you what's all included, what you'll receive, the mentorship, how much it's gonna cost, and what you need to have and what's needed for your state. 30 states bold red that in the state of Michigan, you have to have a esthetician license to perform lash extensions on people. To do it legally, you have to have a license. If you want to work on people, you have to have a license. And they have put up how I was running a lash fanning course to show how to make lash fans by hand. And with that, I also let them know that you don't even work on the skin in that course. You simply get a eyelid and a sponge with that course. You're never actually touching people. So anyone can do that and get certified. But these are certifications of completion. Anyone in the beauty industry with a license, you know that you go and you learn different techniques, and it is a certification. It's never a license. It's simply a certification. So with the group course that I was hosting, I had actually ended up canceling it within like 2-3 weeks. I had decided that I no longer wanted to even do that group course. That's why you seen nothing about it. That's why you heard nothing about it. Like, it never even happened in the first place. And I let the inspector notice over the phone that it never happened. So when y'all the phone, I'm thinking everything was fine. That was April 10th. I had spoke with her. Didn't hear anything back. May 17th, I received an email from the Bureau of Professional Licensing, the Enforcement Division. Someone had filed a formal complaint on me, making claims that I had been, long story short, running a school to license other people. Long story short, that's literally what it comes down to. This is how petty this is. It's literally what it comes down to. So that was, like I said, May 17th. I write her back and I let her know, the inspector and investigator, all that had happened. I had let her know that the class had been canceled, so I never even gave a lash class. I also stated to her that I'm not licensing anyone. It's a certification course, not a licensing course. And I asked her if she could get back to me, basically as quick as possible, blah, blah, blah. So when I wrote all of that back to her, she says to me that the formal complaint states what the alleged violation is. Are you requesting a settlement offer, a compliance conference, or a hearing? I'm confused because, again, I don't even know what I did. She's not really explaining to me what I did. But then I go and look at the allegation and I tell her, I said, yes, I can see the complaint of the alleged violation, which is conducting a lash course. I have never held a lash course. So when I spoke with the investigator, I was under the impression that the entire file of this had been closed. And she says to me, if you intend to argue that there was no violation, you could make your argument as at a compliance conference or at an administrative hearing. But you need to submit a written request. An email is considered a writing. Which option are you choosing? So I let her know that I will be doing a compliance conference. So I never hear anything back. I'm thinking everything is done. Maybe like this is forgotten. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they just ended up dropping it all together and this is just like whatever. That was May, the last time I heard anything. I received an email September 29th. Long story short, someone else had taken over the file. And it says, like, I understand that back in May, you requested a compliance conference, blah, 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 blah. Please let me know as soon as you can how you would like to proceed, and feel free to ask any questions you may have. At this rate, I feel like, is this a scam? Like, what's going on? Because it had been such a big gap. We went from something happening in April where the inspectors coming in to a month later where I received from a complaint letter, and then that gets dropped from May all the way. Now we're in September 29th. I'm like, this can't be real. Like, at this rate, I feel like this, like, I'm looking back like I should be able to sue for this because y'all prolonged this whole thing. That 5 months later, really 6 months later from the initial phone call with the inspector, I received an official letter from the state of Michigan license affairs and everything, letting me know that I will have a court hearing on November 27th. I'm confused because I don't even know what to do at this rate. I'm scared. I'm not sure if my license is going to be taken away. It was just so many gaps in between everything and me not really knowing what to do and what's going on. All I knew, I was not going to be able to for a lawyer, attorney, or anything like that. But what I did know for a fact is that I knew I did not do anything wrong. I'm one of like the biggest Google people ever. I had to really look into it to make sure that, what I was doing was okay. Nothing that states that a licensed esthetician can't certify someone else to learn a technique, because that's literally all you're doing is learning a technique. Long story short, I was illegally operating a cosmetology school. Because this is my first video, I don't want this video to be too long. I'm gonna actually make a part 2 to this. The part 2 video will be posted tomorrow because I don't want to leave you all hanging, because this is going to be like one of the most important parts. So I promise that I'm going to go ahead and edit and post part 2 for you all by tomorrow night. In the meantime, though, I do want to say thank you all for watching this video. I hope that in some way you have found this informational and helpful and a good story for you all. If you've ever had the state boards come knocking on your door or showing up unannounced or whatever, drop it in the comments and let me know what happened, and if you actually had to even go to court for it, let me know. and make sure that you subscribe, and like this video. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you in part 2. Bye.